that was like us tonight. We got home from that road trip and then we went to the backyard, put our baby on the grass, put our Yorkie on the grass. The sun was beaming down on us. Heard
Yeah.
all the frogs croaking, whatever frogs do. Heard all the crickets and the sun was coming down and it was just we were laying in the grass and baby was actually a rabbit ran 20 feet from us and just
Oh my God, you're in
stopped.
a storybook.
Dude, yeah, I was like Peter, call me Christopher Robin. And
We're back with another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Staying consistent, bro. We're staying consistent. Your host Tyler here, and Paul's here too.
I am here and I am consistent. We made it happen.
Nice. Behind the scenes work is a little dicey this week, folks. I know this is coming out on Wednesday, right on schedule, but we missed all of our other previous recording times, and it got a little hairy, but got her done right at the last minute.
This might be fun though, like a little late night sesh. You know, normally we're kind of like mid morning. Typically it's mid morning, maybe mid afternoon. We've never done an evening record sesh, so I'm excited.
Yeah, this is kind of nice. A little more relaxed. I don't have my phone buzzing, my email going. It's just like kids are getting ready for bed. It's good.
Maybe I won't eat now that we're potting. I've been eating so much in the evenings that it's bad, dude. Like I can be so good during the day, and then after like it starts to get dark, just the snacks come out.
Oh, I'm a notorious snacker, especially with hockey playoffs right now, man. All I
Oh
want to
yeah,
do is just like
eat chips.
watch hockey games and eat junk food. And I'm trying to find like snacks that aren't so junky, but
Right.
I'm having a hard time. I default right back to sour cream and onion, Lay's, potato chips. That's my
W-
go-to every time.
With hell of a good dip
But
or
I
what?
am drinking less. No, just straight up out of the bag.
You know, that's the best, dude. No, it's one of those things where whatever we've had a couple pods where we talked about health and whatever, and you got to enjoy your life. But I just find like I can be so good, and then all of a sudden in the evenings I'm just like, yeah, whatever, screw it, I'll whatever. So I'll be better tomorrow. But anyway, so
As always, tomorrow's a clean slate, bro. Just try again tomorrow. And like we're working in the yard and stuff this weekend. It's finally nice here in central Canada. And, it was like, oh, let's just order pizza. Oh, let's just like I want to just like take out so bad. I had zero desire to like come in and cook dinner or like do anything inside the house. So once I did finish the work, my wife, who's awesome, decided that she was going to handle dinner, which was nice.
nice.
Didn't have to
We
actually cook.
we actually had we were on the road this weekend. Went about 5 hours, 5 hours northwest, 5 hours northwest, and basically into like the middle of nowhere, like rural, northern Canada, whatever you want to call it, central Canada, but like beautiful, but just like so halfway to our destination, there's some small towns and there's basically like Chicken Chef, Subway, McDonald's,
Oh yeah,
and
just the
DQ
classic
DQ.
road trip food.
So like each way we had like fast food and like two fast foods in one weekend never happens. Like I don't think I have fast food more than like once every like 2-3 months, really. The odd time we'll get like Wendy's salads kind of thing, but that's the one
Hey man, the
vice that we
Wendy's
have.
salads are good.
Yeah, no, they are. No,
I know
they're
if there's
good.
anyone super healthy listening to this, they're going like, you guys don't know what good is, but shut up.
No, but I'm
They're
saying
not
like
bad. They're
a
not
Wendy,
bad.
a Wendy's salad is better than like a Wendy's burger and fries for sure. I mean,
100%.
there's the taco salad that whatever, maybe not. But anyways, I don't even know
Grilled
what.
chicken Caesar is where it's at, man.
Yeah,
Grilled
that's
chicken
delicious.
Caesar.
That's delicious. I don't know. I don't know how I got on this topic, but anyways, it was a good weekend and it was full. And the baby, we have a little baby, and she did really well. 10 hours of driving in
Oof.
3 days. 5 and 5. She was a rock star. So
That's awesome, man. It's crazy. It's that time of year, like I said, we're in the yard all weekend and it's we waited for it for so long here to like get, you know, warm and nice. And now I have all this stuff I want to do.
yeah.
But I'm like, I also have to work. And the crazy thing is there's nobody like running your own business. No one's telling me get to your desk, get to work. You have to police that stuff yourself.
Yep.
And I guess it's been a struggle this week of doing the things that I want to do versus like the work. Like obviously like the work is getting done, but I am now like, you know, kind of scrambly getting some of it done. Like anything that can get put off is getting put off. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I'll do
yeah,
that
yeah.
next week. I'll do this next week. And like this happens every spring. And I was just gonna ask you if it happens to you or like I'm assuming other industries have this too. Like everybody wants to be outside. They want to be, catching up with friends, getting rounds of golf in. And it can be, like you got to really be disciplined, I guess, to keep the business or like I don't know, how do you feel about that? Like does this happen to you or am I just over
Oh,
here the
no,
only one?
100%. And like my whole life I've struggled with like um my attention span, like uh that's why it's so hard to get a hold of me, or like I don't really check my texts during the workday, and I've trained most of the people that I partner with, that I work with, like email me, because like if you text me and I'm in a meeting and I see your text quickly and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll respond to Tyler after. Well, I can't flag it or whatever, right? So with email, it's all there. So I'm really intentional on like just having my email open. And then when I'm underwriting or working on a live file, I'll close my email so I can't see like the inbox growing. Because if I
Yeah.
keep seeing it like on my second screen, keep seeing a new icon, ding, 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 then I can't focus. So I've always struggled with that. But like lately, yeah, like with the influx of business coming in, and then with trying to get work done as fast as I can so I can enjoy the weather. I found it's I've missed a few things, right, where I've forgotten to follow up where normally I wouldn't. And again, nothing, I could never miss anything urgent because my team member like reminds me of stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, long story
That's
short,
helpful.
I've forgotten a few things lately that normally wouldn't happen, and so it's been a bit of a grind right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I find myself in the morning, like when I get up, like my wife and I, we have this like routine and we get up, we have our coffee and we kind of sit on the couch together and we sort of talk about the day. Like, okay, here's what I got going on today. Here's what you got going on today. After school, this is what's going on. This is kind of the game plan. So like when we leave the house in the morning, like, I mean, I assume most people do this, but like we know exactly kind of where everyone's going to be at what time and whatever. We have a shared calendar, which is like if you don't have a shared calendar with your spouse, get one because it's life saving. Because
Get it
especially because my
separate.
wife puts she puts everything in hers, and I can always see what's going on. But anyways, but we found like that chat more is like it used to be a lot of like, okay, so I have to do this for work, I have to do this for work, I have to do this for work, and now it's more like I gotta go to the store and pick up some of this today, and then I have a tea time, and then we're gonna go shopping for all the new camping gear we're gonna get this year, and then we're gonna do this, and we're gonna and it's like, oh yeah, I have to work.
Yeah.
How about I'll squeeze in some work here? And like again, obviously it's not to the point where like I'm just not working at all. Obviously,
No, no,
like
no.
deals are getting done and whatever, but it's all the extra stuff, right? Because as when you run your own show, it is, you know, the basic tasks that need to get done. Plus, you need to prospect, you need to grow the business, there's admin work and all that crap. And that's the stuff that I'm just like, meh, put that off till
Well, that's what
later.
we talked about last week, was exactly that, where remember we said like maybe delegate certain things or whatever.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? Like it's tough because those things, and it is nice, and we're humans and everything, and but even for me, like this, like farmers work their tails off in harvest season, right? And so there are times of the year where in any industry you're going to be slammed, right? So not unfortunately, but for us, it's typically in like the really nice in our environment here. That's when it's like the nicest weather. But
Yeah.
no, like we were talking recently, and like again, I don't know how I golfed as much as I did last year because um, there's so much stuff to do, right? Like even now like I said, we're getting ready for my daughter's first birthday in July, and getting the yard ready, and there's so much stuff to do with that. I need to buy another vehicle. I need another dishwasher. I need.
I can't wait to hear you say I need to buy another vehicle and it'll be like August and we'll be like, did you buy that car yet?
Oh, dude, you trust me, hold me to it. Well, here's my thing. For someone who's doing really well business wise, I have such a hard time. Like, I have an old vehicle that runs. It's a 2008 Lexus SUV that runs zero payments. Haven't been payments on it for probably 20 years, whatever. Maybe not ever. I don't remember. But every couple of years, putting a couple grand of upkeep, and it runs. So why would I replace that with a $1,200 car payment? Or why would I
No,
take out 70 grand out of my investments to buy something cash when it's making me 20%? That's
yeah,
my
that's totally fair. I
that's
mean,
my
like,
struggle.
yeah, I've had this chat or this thought with myself so many times. Like, I've sort of gotten a new vehicle kind of every 3 to 4 years, and most of the time it's because they run into problems and things like that. Not just because I want one, but I've always thought like, wouldn't it be nice to just like put the money into it and just keep fixing it and then get to that no payment world where you're not shelling out $1,200 a month for a
Hmm.
vehicle, and then yeah, you know what, maybe something goes and it costs you 3 grand here, but then you go 14 months with nothing, and then you just get kind of like that odd little bill. And I don't know, I'm gonna try and do that with this current vehicle of mine. I really like my current truck, but yeah, it's tough to balance this right now, this time of year. It's you golf for us is a big thing. We like to golf, and I
Right.
golfed a lot last year. I want to golf more. My kids are getting into golf. My wife's into golf this year. So they all want to go out, and I find myself, you know, putting all of those priorities first. And I'm wondering like if it's gonna just maybe fade out. Cause
What do you mean? Which
well, it's
which
just like when
priorities?
like like fade out just because it's like it got so nice so fast. And like, not that this is all about the weather, but the weather for us is a big deal because it's not nice here a lot of times, and I hate the winter.
Right.
So when spring gets here, I get like the spring fever, and I want to do work in the yard, and I want to,
Yeah.
get out there and get the grass going. I want to start playing golf, and we want to go camping, and we want to get the boat in the water, and we want to do all these things, and all these things take a shit ton of work,
Hmm.
and all I want to do is just get all that stuff ready to go. And then once I'm ready to go, it kind of fades away a little bit, but then you're out doing the things that you've now prepped for. And I guess like for anyone else who's running their own show, like how do you balance, making sure that you have time to do those things? Our jobs aren't 9 to 5s. We can't just be like at 5 o'clock we're gonna go and
Yeah.
put the boat in and go for a cruise. Like it's just our lives don't work that way. So I find myself feeling guilty, man. Like I'll be like on a Tuesday morning, even though I'll have, showings and,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
appointments lined up from like 2 p.m. until 9 p.m. I'll be in my driveway at like 10:30, like just kind of washing the boat
Yeah.
or prepping our camper for a weekend out or whatever it is that we're doing. And I'm like, you should be at your desk. And I'm like, but why?
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I don't know if it was on this pod or our last, maybe even a couple episodes ago when we talked just about, yeah, like there's going to be times when we work really, really hard during the week or during the month, and then there's going to be seasons when the business slows down, and then you need to pause and enjoy those times because there's a lot of times of the year where, like you mentioned last time, I think where you know you left the house at 10 a.m. and you got home at 11 p.m. Right, and so there's days like that. So then you have to be able to like soak in those mornings when you don't have to do much till noon. And I mean, for me, it's like that too. Like it was like the last couple of weeks have been long days and then evenings as well. And then even this weekend when we were on the road, I logged 2, 3 hours on the Saturday and then from the hotel and then, tonight's Sunday night and I did an hour. And so like, it's one of those things where, but that way, Friday afternoon when I want to go golfing, then I don't have to feel guilty because I worked, made up for it on the weekend. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's pretty cool. Like that you can do those things and we can log in every once in a while. And I guess I don't know, for I have tasks that can fit into that, but it's not for on my side of the business. My work is like out doing things
Yeah.
like showing houses or like doing property evaluations for people, that sort of thing. Like I obviously there is some admin work and things to do, but there isn't like stacks of it that are always just kind of sitting there where like, oh, I could log an hour here, I could log 2 or 3 hours there.
Right. Different.
It's yeah, so if I'm not like out showing houses and things, like I sit here and I kind of feel like, man, what are you doing for your life?
Mhm.
Like and like that's where the guilt comes from. Because like I could go to my desk, yeah, I could put some social media posts out, I could, you know, send a few emails and follow up with some people, and those are things that I do. But I like again, like it doesn't equate to enough to be like hours of work
Yeah.
that I could just kind of. I need to have my laptop with me. I need to have it with me because if something happens with a live deal that I've got going on that I need to deal with, that's why
Right
it's
up
there.
there.
Like, yeah, like I
Yeah.
brought it with me when we went camping. I didn't open it once, which was
Yeah.
nice. We were able to go for the whole May long and didn't have to worry about work. I think it was the first time I've ever done that where we've been able to actually go and enjoy the whole weekend. But
Cool.
yeah, no, it's just and then like you were talking earlier, golf with buddies and things like that, and like so if you've got stuff planned and then all of a sudden like work comes in
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
derails it,
I
like.
know. Well, yeah. That was off
Do you
air.
put that stuff like how do you handle that? Do you put that stuff first? Do you put the work first, or do you just say to your folks like, hey, like I'm not available? Because I've
But
done that too, where like I had people who wanted me to show houses this afternoon. I was just like, no, I'm scheduled to be in my yard and drinking beer and
yeah.
moving a shed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
No.
doing.
No. I mean, it's a fine balance, and I think I've gotten pretty good over the years at typically if I'm going to be away from my desk, it's certain times of the day. So you've tried golf with me in the mornings during the week, never going to happen because like that's when live offers have come in the night before or hopefully first thing. It drives me crazy when a live offer comes in at 3 p.m. and I can see that it was signed the previous night. So
Oof.
anyway, anyways, so but like typically they should hit the inbox in the morning, and then I'm usually able to grind, get out. And then if I do have the odd day that I booked off at like leaving the desk at 2:30 to go have an afternoon round, that's okay, because I should be able to get most urgent things done during the workday. But yeah, like there's a round this week. I was gonna play my first round of golf with the buddies, and the week's looking pretty crazy, and I just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, which is unfortunate because they've all made an effort to book that time. And
Yeah.
but again, my clients come first, and unfortunately, sometimes that means you have to put away the personal thing. But I could say, well, no, I can't say no. It's different, right? It's different if they have an accepted offer and 1 day for financing or 2 days for financing and
It's
I'm
time
golfing the whole
sensitive,
day.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
So like that's what's different between you and me. I just can't say like, sorry, I just want to show you houses, but like I can push off like the intro meetings or the pre-approval meetings. Yeah, sorry, I'm booking Wednesday. You know what I mean? I'm 3 days
yeah.
out or whatever. So yeah, you live and you learn and you prioritize things and you also don't want to lose your friends if you just flake on them all the time. But I've set pretty good boundaries to start. So
Yeah, and like at the beginning too, I mean, some of the listeners we have are seasoned business owners and some might be newer to it and like, I don't know, what would we say we are? Like we're medium? Like we're not rookies, we're not new to this, but we're not haven't been doing this my whole life by any
mediums versus
stretch.
medium.
Yeah, we're mediums. So,
No, I mean 7 years, 7 years.
yeah,
That's like a big chunk of of like my adult life for sure.
that's wild. Actually, you know what? Now that I don't know if I've ever really thought about it in that context until just this moment where like yeah, like in 6 years for me, that's crazy, man. Because
Yeah,
like honestly, this is the longest. Like I worked for the my previous company for a decade, but I had different roles in the company. Like I worked in different positions,
yeah,
right?
right.
I think this might be the longest position that I've held. 6 years
That's
doing
crazy.
this, essentially the same
Same,
job, right? I
same,
mean,
same here.
like
Me too.
that's wild.
It is, and then when you think about it, though, and even when I was thinking about my wife, we've been married 10 years, but also together for I think like through 2.5 before that. Like you start
Yeah.
thinking about like how the percentage of your whole life that you've been with someone, or the percentage that you've been at the same job, or whatever it is, the house you've had, if you've been there 20 years or 15 years, it's like holy cow, that's like half my life, or more than half, or less, or whatever, right? So. Um, yeah, I just find that like I've got a good thing going right now. Like with it's business is rolling, family is amazing, but it kind of leads into what I had a good chat with my brother-in-law over the weekend, just talking about boundaries and about like how much work is too much work, and at what point do you just kind of enjoy the downtime, even though that means you might make less money, right? And you and I, Tyler, talked about
Yeah.
last episode about, or maybe it was two, about cutting out some of the video work that you
Yeah.
do,
Yeah. Yeah. The last one.
photography. Yeah, last episode. So like that's something that brings you joy and brings you excitement and you brings you your why. And I was telling you if you hired someone else to do that, you'd make more money. And you said I don't want to do that because that's the part that I really love, right? So
Yeah.
with this stuff, same thing, if maybe, I don't know, like there's nothing wrong with enjoying some free time. Could you go grind and maybe bring in a little more value and a bit more income? Maybe, but do you want that? Right?
Yeah, I guess that, and like I guess like you'll always kind of struggle with that internal question of what's the right thing to do, and I guess there is no real answer for that. I guess the right thing is, and I try to check myself regularly with this stuff. Like I keep bringing up my the boat because I just got it back to my house and it's my baby, and I'm so happy to see it in my driveway again. But I was in there, just kind of checking things over, getting everything ready to go for our first day out, and I was just like, like how much time are you gonna spend in this thing this summer? And like, are you sure you're fully set up for the rest of the year? Like maybe last year, you spent time out here in the boat because it was great, and you were super busy. But like, what if you're
Yeah.
not as busy? Like, you really gonna be out here wasting your time just floating around the water? And I'm like, hey, I have internal conversations with myself, and I'm not always polite. I'm like, hey, jerk,
Yeah.
up there in my brain, you want to shut it? We've
Mhm.
busted our ass for this thing, and yeah, we're gonna use it a little bit, and try to tell myself that, hey, you know what? Like, what's it all for? Like we've said
Okay.
before, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
I am gonna enjoy it. I am gonna float around the lake and maybe lose a deal, but who cares?
Okay. Well, and this is what we were talking about because I was kind of saying how the last couple of weeks have been long weeks. We were mentioning the last couple episodes, and
Hmm.
so we were just mentioning I have a little baby, right? She's one, and have family, beautiful nieces and nephews, brother, and brothers-in-laws, sisters-in-laws, a brother, my parents, my parents. Like we have a ton of our family here in our city, alive, healthy, and so I say no to stuff, and I'm usually at my desk, and I was kind of we were having this exact discussion around the fire, like um oh, well, around the fire table that wasn't lit. So if he comments
The
later, we did not have a fire, but so we're we're sitting there,
visual
and
was nice though.
yeah, it sounded better. So anyway, we were talking, and I was kind of saying like, yeah, like if I'm investing this much and I'm giving this much, and saving this much for the future, like I have a hard time dialing it back. So like some people would say like, well, what's the minimum you need to live off of a good life, the minimum you need to save for your pension because we don't have pensions, the minimum you need to save for your future, and then the minimum that you like to give, right, or whatever that number is for you. What's that number? And then once you kind of hit that or you get into that rhythm, you can just stay there. And so I we were talking about how I can't do that. Like, and we talked about my pest control door knocking days, the grind. Like I want to be top. I want to hit the top of the leaderboard. I want to get the most files
Yep.
and I want to help the most people. I want to be that guy, right? And so I don't work harder to make more money. And people laugh like because they know I like some nice things, but it's actually not about the money. It's about fulfillment and about like targets and winning. And so for me, we were chatting about that, and that brings me fulfillment. Kind of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like just knowing that like you went and worked your ass off this week and you didn't leave anything on the table, and you kind of just like you're coming home like, yeah, I didn't take any shortcuts this week.
Yeah.
I
Proud
crushed it.
I'm proud dad, and just yeah,
Yeah.
provider, and my wife works, but she's currently home with the baby, so it kind of lands on me, and that's what I like. It try like I want people to rely on me, and I want people to like to say, hey, Paul, you're doing a good job. Like I for whatever reason, like maybe we're getting a little bit personal, but I like that validation. I like to know, like literally, if you give me one out of boy, it's gonna make me work 40 more hours. Hey, good job, Paul.
Nice.
Oh, I'm gonna work 80 hours next week. I'm like a little puppy, right? So we were talking about that, and so first things first, I have a hard time letting go and not working because I'm an energizer buddy, energizer bunny, and I want to go. So then, but the biggest thing that we were talking about, and then I talked about it with my father-in-law today, actually, same conversation. Um, we were talking about the importance of like setting up the next generation. Like I've been
Yeah.
given this gift of whatever gifts I have here to do well in my job where I can derive, good income. And so if I kind of half-ass it, I'm I could be helping out future generations, my kids, my grandkids, their kids, And then also giving. Like, so big part of what drives me and my family is giving, like to other people, other causes, charity, church.
Yep.
Um, so if I've been given the skill set to produce sales and money, commissioned kind of work, and I'm good at it, and I help people, if I kind of take a step back and don't work very hard, it's almost like I'm not having as big of an impact as I can. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and and I think it probably resonates to a lot of people who run their own business or are the kind of the breadwinner in the house, just because like same boat over here, right? My wife works too, but a lot of the providing comes from my work, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without her. That's for damn sure. Man, I'd be a complete mess. But
Oh yeah, you would
yeah,
be. So would
but
I. So would I. So would I.
yeah, I think a lot of that drives me as well, where you're just sort of, you know, I think that's why we have that guilt when you're kind of when you are enjoying your time and you're sitting there going like, I could be, should I be, maybe I should be, and the crappy thing though is that I didn't used to be that way. When I had my corporate job, it was like 5 p.m. See you later. Like I said before, like literal Fred Flintstone, like down the slide. I am out of here, man. And see you on Monday. Didn't give a thought to work. Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then like it was Monday morning. It was like, okay, where's everything at? And like the thought of being able to do that now with my own business is just impossible. Um, so it's made personal time really hard to enjoy. Not that I don't, I try really hard to enjoy it, but
Yeah,
but
but like,
it comes with like it comes with like a bitter taste sometimes.
well, and I was gonna attest to that as well as like, um, just reaffirm what you said. Like basically, like with my wife, like, and we see it, I see it, we see it as we're business partners. Like she, we have a little baby that she manages whatever she's awake. Uh,
Yeah.
10 hours a day. So she sleeps 12, whatever. I'm not supposed to talk about this because apparently some kids don't sleep this good, but like she, she's every time I tell people, she's like, she gives me an elbow after. She's like, you shouldn't say that because some people's kids don't sleep. So like, but she'll
It'll all
literally
come
sleep.
back around, my friend.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
all
right.
come back around at some
So,
point in time.
so anyway, so she's only awake 10, 11 hours a day, whatever it is. But my wife is with her 98% of that time. And like, I'm here at the house, but I'm kind of like popping in, holding her, whatever. So she handles the
Yep.
baby, makes food, keeps the house clean, supports me. Um, she's like the wisest, smartest person I know, and so without her, we this business wouldn't operate. But what I was gonna say is, me, I've really learned to cherish the personal time because we do work so hard and work a lot of hours that it kind of really can get me. Like if I'm chilling, what was it? It was last night. It was like last night. It was like 9 p.m. on a weekend, and I got like a work text. And I just the text was nothing wrong, nothing bad about it. But instantly my brain went to the other 66 things I have to do this week. And
Yeah.
it's all things that I love, but I was at peace, just chilling. And then all of a sudden now my brain is back to work. So that's why I think I actually need a second phone. I think that's
I
actually
was
what I'm
just
gonna,
gonna say that. I have
yeah.
a buddy who has two phones,
Ah,
and he says it's the only way that he can ever like mentally check out is to be able to leave his work phone in his drawer and he doesn't touch it till Monday.
no, yeah. And like I mean, you can still go log in. Like for me, then I can still go log in on my computer when I have time. But it's more just like the texts and phone calls that pop up
Yeah.
during church or during like family dinner and so anyway, what I'm saying is I really try to protect that time. And again, I have buddies like that kind of laugh at me that are in the same industry, and they'll be
Yeah.
hammering out work texts at midnight and Friday at 5 p.m. on the golf course. They're not phased at all by that stuff. They're like, just
Ugh.
part of your, and for them, they're like, why are you so weird about it? And I kind of wish I could be like that, but
Well, see, and you know what? I think it's good that you're not. And like golf time for me is like that is one place where like it has to be like something is burning down to like get me to really go into work mode.
mhm.
Because like I'm like, you know what? I can have 4 hours. And most of the time my rounds are done in 3.
Yeah.
And it's like I can have
Yeah, it's because you pick up
this
all your
time to
putts.
myself.
Just kidding.
Dude, the putter is not good right now. It's bad. I'm leaving all kinds of strokes on the greens, but yeah, I know like and like it's good because you see like I'm golfing with another realtor this year and he's pretty good too. But I've golfed with you do the events and things like that where you golfing with other agents and like they're just constantly on their phone, they're text and you try to carry a conversation with them. Like this is a place to kind of chit chat and like, shoot the shit and kind of hang out and get to know one another and you can't because they're too busy taking a call or taking a message and it's like can this really not just wait, 3 hours? Like, is it really like that important?
Yeah.
And then I sit there
Yeah.
going like, what am I doing wrong? How come my phone's not like urgently freaking out? But like,
Fair.
I train my clients to know, like, look, here's the time sensitive stuff, and this is the stuff that's not time sensitive. And outside of that, don't worry about it. We'll
Hmm.
get it done when we get it done. And like, I golf twice a week, so it's not that big of a deal. But um, yeah, it's just kind of wild the whole perception that people will have too. And like you get the all your other buddies who aren't in the industry, the old must be nice kind of thing when you're golfing or when you're like, you know, I got some friends that live on the street. I got some friends that, in Kenora, they see me visiting, they see me, like in town on like a Tuesday morning.
They
Um,
live on your street or they live on the street?
No, no, like I have
Like street.
friends that live on my street. I was just
Oh,
thinking like
okay.
when they see me in the yard, right? It's like
Yeah, I know.
10,
Yeah.
10 in the morning, I'm cutting my grass. They're like, "What does this guy ever work?"
I
And
got
like
you.
I ran into friends when I was in my hometown there a couple weeks ago and they were working and I bumped into them downtown and it was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know, going for lunch." "What are you doing?" "Huh, working?" Like
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
us have to work. That was the joke they gave me. Some of us can't just be going for lunch. And I was like, "Oh, dude."
I know. I
You
know.
have no idea, and it's and maybe it's like these little things that happen, and maybe this stuff shouldn't bother me as much as that it does. Not that it, like, I don't know if bother is the right word, but like these little things that come in, and then like they'll say that joke, and then I get back in my vehicle and I go to my lunch and I sit there and going like, maybe I shouldn't be going for lunch. Like, what am I doing?
I know, but and even like my wife and I were talking with this today. It's like, who cares? Like, who really cares what other people think? And even if it's people that are close to you, like, your heart, your job, at a certain point, I'm sure, like, if your business was faltering or whatever, you would be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go for lunch, right? And that's just like an example. And I know Claire, your wife, would be like, hey, man, like, we got to tighten up the calendar here and focus
Yep.
on our work. Like, again, I know you work your tail off, but what I'm getting at is like both of us work hard, and if we ever didn't, like someone would keep us accountable, right? So it's like,
Well,
who cares what
exactly.
the other
You would
people
make
think,
the
right?
necessary adjustments. And
Right.
like, what, it's funny because like there's every year the business ebbs and flows that way where there will be stretches where it's like, you know what? Let's just book a hotel and go for a dinner and disappear for 48 hours. And
Hmm.
then, and then there'll be times it'll be like, look, let's stick to the no-name stuff at the store this week and just get the basics. It ebbs and flows like that. And there's,
Yeah.
it's I have a topic to talk about on another episode of the feast and famine that comes with running your own business. Like when it's good, it's great. When it's bad, and like how to, things that I've learned in the first 6 years of business here on how to like minimize that
Hmm.
friggin' roller coaster ride because
Well,
it's frustrating.
it's what it is, and like I think too, everyone sets their business up differently. But I have a salary, so like I have a corp set up where
Yep.
the income that I derive goes to that corp, and then I get payroll. Like it pays me, my corp pays my personal bank account on this first of every month. And then I do have to go remit like taxes to the government myself, um, but anyway, so like I stick to that salary versus when I had one bank account for both business and pleasure. Then you're
Hmm.
just wheeling a deal and you're just taking out this, taking out that. So it is nice
Yep.
where you can kind of like if you can put yourself on a bit of a salary and keep a bit of a nest egg in there. Like I know I have like my operating costs. So when my team and I, my financial like planner and just sorry, my it's just funny. So when we meet, we look at like okay, like what's in there? What times a year does things slow down? what are your expenses, and then let's always keep like a buffer zone in there, and then otherwise you can invest and give the rest. So anyway, I take the same amount of money every month, and that's what's kept me on a schedule and kept me kind of just
Yeah.
dialed in.
And and again, we'll talk about this further in another episode, but yeah, I'm not incorporated, but run my life very similar,
Hmm.
just with two different bank accounts.
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah, like I started, had one, like you were saying, and it's chaos.
Oh
But I
yeah,
have two separate accounts, two different cards, two different everything. So I basically treat it like a corp, but it's not a corp yet. And like it's all transitioning into one eventually here.
good,
But
good.
um but yeah, just wanted to train myself on how to live that way first without all the strings attached
Oh,
that come with a corp. And yeah, it's the only way to do it. And without, having some self-discipline that way, things can get kind of crazy. But that's a topic for another episode.
oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that was good. I feel better. I feel like I
Yeah.
wanted to vent some of that stuff out.
No, that's good, dude. And like I think too, it's tough because every you're gonna talk to 10 different people, and 10 different people will have 10 different opinions on how you balance life, how you balance work, how much should you work, how much. And there's a lot of people that would say, as you get older, you should work less and you should just retire and you shouldn't work. And and then
God,
there's
I
some
feel so
that
guilty.
yeah, and then there's some people that would like will literally work until the day they can't walk anymore. And
Yeah.
and again, I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Why don't you just enjoy your time? They're like, I am enjoying my time, right? Like this is what brings them value. And I also think the people that stay busier longer and live healthier and happier with more purpose, right? So like if you just retire and sit on the couch,
Oh man, I'd be a
um,
mess.
yeah, versus like, getting a part-time job. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on here. Get a part-time job, or volunteer, or play sports, play pickleball, go for walks, whatever it is, dog walk, right? Bring some value and bring some purpose, because without purpose, and there's another book called it's by Viktor Frankl. Uh oh man, not The Meaning of Life, but there's like a like there's a what is it, dude? There's a candle on the front. It's basically he was a Holocaust survivor,
Oh
and
shit.
he talked about however many years he was locked up in that camp, like just seeing all of his friends die. And he was the only
Oof.
way he got through that was having a purpose, like something that gave him hope, right? So I'm not trying
Yeah.
to get down or whatever here, but like if you don't have a why or a purpose, um, what things deteriorate fast, right? You have nothing to live for, really.
Yeah, and that's why I think people like who get into like I had a family member say, when I started having success in real estate, I'm gonna get into real estate too. And I'm like, and it was like this was not the type of person,
No,
not to like stereotype or anything like
no, no,
that,
no,
but just
no.
like I just knew right away. I'm like, please don't do that.
Wait,
Don't
wait.
you
So they weren't conceited.
they, they
Sorry,
what?
they weren't. So wait, they weren't conceited. Just kidding. Like saying that realtors are conceited. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Got it. It's
It
that was
wasn't even
over
that
my head,
funny.
man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Anyways,
Continue.
he said he was gonna do that, and I was just like, please don't do that to your family because it's not gonna be good for you. And like the motivation for it was pure money. And
Hmm.
anyone who like gets into a business, running their own business, only because like I don't know, only because the money could be good, I feel like you're not gonna get good money. You know what I
If
mean? Like unless
no,
you're just like
if that,
investing, like if you're buying a
yeah, no,
franchise restaurant or
no.
something, that's to me that's a little bit different. But like if you're gonna like do what we do, like you're gonna start a company and you're gonna run it and you're gonna be the guy or the girl and you're gonna do the job and you're gonna provide the service, like because there's a chance of making lots of money, you're gonna be miserable and you're not gonna have that
Yeah,
purpose
no.
and it's gonna fail.
Well, I think we talked about that too, right? Because like, just if I would, if you said, Paul, do you want to do your job, but be like a salaried employee doing that job, I'd be like,
Yeah.
no, like, but I mean, like, I think with this, again, I don't do this for money. I do it because I like. There's multiple reasons why I wanted to be in charge of my destiny. I wanted to be my own boss. That was the first reason, and the second was I like to help people, and I want to do a job where I'm doing good and we both win. I win and the clients win. So in some industries or sales roles, in order for you to profit, the client has to suffer or whatever.
Yeah.
But in my role, I'm getting them the best products, the best terms, the best everything, and I get paid to do that. So I don't do it for the money. And then the third thing obviously is, yeah, you can earn a good income if you work hard. So, but if you're doing it just for the income, you're not going to last. No.
No. And I think that's too like why I end up having these moments like I've been talking about this whole episode of like because like you say like I get joy from doing my job. Like I truly enjoy what I do. There's that old saying like if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Like maybe I'm living that right now and that's why I'm sitting here going like I have like a lot of like it's too good to be true moments where like I'm like sitting here going like is this seriously life right now? Like
It's pretty sweet.
and I'm not
Well,
saying that like in a conceited way. I just mean I'm sitting here going like you're too like you're having too much fun or you're enjoying this too much. Stop it. Go back to work. And it's like, but
yeah,
I am working.
no, that's wicked.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's good. That's good. No, that's huge. And like that's like, that was like us tonight. We got home from that road trip and then we went to the backyard, put our baby on the grass, put our Yorkie on the grass. The sun was beaming down on us. Heard
yeah.
all the frogs croaking, or whatever frogs do. Heard all the crickets and sun was coming down. And it was just we were laying in the grass and the baby was actually a rabbit ran 20 feet from us and just
Oh my God, you're in
stopped.
a storybook.
Dude, yeah, I was like Peter, call me Christopher Robin, and and
Winnie the Pooh comes up with a
yeah,
jar of honey.
Winnie the Pooh and Tigger walked by. But anyways, we're laying there, and my little baby perks up. She sees this bunny 20 feet away, and she starts crawling towards it, and she's cooing, and then the puppy comes, and so my wife is like, well, I forgot what word she said, but basically like this is it, like this is everything, and so. And just to go back, I remember the name of the book. It actually was called Man's Search for Meaning,
Mm.
and he basically his whole premise, which actually just feeds in nicely, was basically that we're like our human drive is like the pursuit of finding what we find meaningful. It's the pursuit of what we find that brings us meaning. So maybe it's taking care of other people, or maybe there's like accomplishing different things. But basically, it's just like you got to have something that drives you. And for you, you've already found. It seems like you found that, right? It's like it's a search for meaning, and it's a search for like, and it's gonna change for every person out there, right? So
Yeah.
being provider, being whatever. There's a lot of things that can bring you joy. So on purpose.
Yeah.
That's a great book, though. I recommend that book. I haven't read it in like 10 years. Again, it's not going to be like the easiest, lightest read, but I think everyone should read that book.
It's got a good it's got a good skeleton to it. Or I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the right word.
No, like yeah, it's good framework, and it's just
Yeah.
something that like I think we can also learn a lot from history, and also just there's a lot of people that came before us that laid the groundwork for us, and there's often times when I just lay in the grass or whatever in bed trying to fall asleep, and you're like, you're this is so weird, but you're like, how did they ever like the first person like build a bridge? You know what I mean? Like, how did someone actually
Yeah.
think about or like even like radio or streaming music and Wi-Fi. Like, dude, I'm so
Oh
dumb.
man.
I'm so stupid. Dude, yeah, I was trying to put on my shoes. I was holding these Tim Hortons sandwiches for the road, and then I was putting my shoes on, and I'm like my Birks, like my clogs or whatever. So I'm like, I was gonna drop my Birks on the floor and slide into them, but I just dropped the two sandwiches on the floor and held on to the Birks. So anyway, man, there's people out there that are a lot smarter than us, and you can read about them. There you
Oh man. Yeah, that's funny.
go. 10 people
It's
saw it. 10 people saw
I
it, dude.
I just laughing because I can see myself doing that as well. Like I
Yeah,
totally know the moment you were in and you're like the brain it's like, it's like that whole like take your hand and rub circles on your tummy and tap your head and you
no
can't
chance.
do it and you're probably looking at one hand going, "Okay, drop these and hold on to these." And just, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
baby was ready to go, crying. I'm working on no sleep, and I'm just in the bench. I'm gone. And they all laughed, and I just booked it. But
Yeah, you're
anyway,
like,
yeah, man.
someone clean these sandwiches up.
Yeah. So right on. That was good. That was
Oh,
good
awesome,
times.
man. Well, that's all I got.
It's good. Yeah.
A good episode.
Hopefully someone got something from this, and if anything, even me just thinking about that book again and trying to figure out what it is that why we do what we do, and there's got to be more to life than just. And I think too, like when you think about it, if someone said how many weekends there are in their life or how many summers there are in their
Hmm.
healthy life. And if you just go into the motions and don't really understand why you're doing it, like you're
Man,
gonna
there's so
waste it.
many people
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
just the perception is that they get up to go to work because they were told they have to, and that's just what
Hmm.
they do, and they don't like their job, and they go home, they don't really like their life, and they're
Yeah.
just sort of
Yeah, drink
existing.
yeah, drink every Friday night, Saturday night just to like forget about the week and then,
Yeah.
wake up hungover and then go to work, lay around on Sunday, cut the grass, go to work Monday. And so like I just find that if you don't have something driving you, and for me it's like I said, it's providing for my family,
Yeah.
being able to like give, and then also just being able to provide for my future generations. I think that's what I've helped give me purpose. But then I do need pals once in a while to like punch me and say like come golfing, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm gonna punch you soon. So
I know we will not go to your course. Anywhere we'll go, we'll
we'll,
go to
we'll
Falcon
go to
or
Windsor Park or something, something
yeah.
basic,
So I'm not
They don't cut the
bad.
greens.
I'm not bad. I just your greens just make me want to just go nuts. But maybe I have to just play there. I'll go a couple times and I'll get used to it.
Well, you'll come at least once. We'll get you out here.
Yeah, that'd be
It's
good, buddy.
fun. We can struggle together.
Yeah, man. Well, it was fun chatting with you. Thanks for making the time. And yeah, next week's gonna be a really good one. I'm looking forward to next week.
Awesome, man. Right back at you. Until next week, folks, thanks for joining us on our little journey here, the Real Life Podcast. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
See you next Monday, y'all. Bye.